everyone! Welcome back to another 2v2 battle with me and Surreal. He is playing as the Vampire Counts. I am bringing the Dwarves. We're facing off against a Greenskin player and another Vampire Count player. I am bringing the High King, a Runesmith, 2 Thanes for our heroes and lords. We have a front line of Dwarven Warriors, 2 Quarrelers. We have a group of Longbeards here on the side. We have 3 Dwarven Warriors, or Dwarf Warriors with great weapons. Then I have a Trollhammer Iron Drake and then 2 normal Iron Drakes there and there. And an Organ Gun. Back here, 2 Grudge Throwers. Not a build I typically bring. Now, whenever I bring the High King, I also give him the Book of Grudges, which if we check it out here, gives a +8 melee attack and a range of 45 meters around him. And then also the Runesmith, I grab the upgrade, which gives a +8 attack. Where is it? There you go. +8 attack and 4 leadership and a 60-meter range around him. And whenever I bring these two, especially the High King with that upgrade, I usually rely on Dwarven Warriors or Miners and less on the Longbeards, because as you can see right over here, these Dwarven Warriors now have a 38 melee attack instead of a 22. I think that's their normal one, right? Yeah, because this one isn't affected by anything. So I try to keep Thorgrim and the Runesmith somewhat nearby each other so most of the units can benefit from the +16 melee attack, which is insane. And that's why I also brought the Dwarf Warriors with great weapons. They usually have a very low melee attack, but with the buff from the High King and the Runesmith, they are also better. Just wanted to let you know that's why I bring Dwarf Warriors with Thorgrim. You can still bring Longbeards and they'll attack even more often or get hits in more often than, you know, Dwarf Warriors, but the Warriors are a lot less expensive, so you can bring more of them. Then over here for Surreal, we have a front line of zombies with the Tithe as well. We have a couple Skeletal Spearmen, a Vampire, Vlad von Karstein, 2 Crypt Horrors, a White King. We have a line of Graveguard with great weapons, and then the Sternsman here on the right. We have the Claw of Nagash, another Spearman, and then he also brought a Black Coach. Our enemies today, the Vampire Count, a whole lot of zombies, including the Tithe. We have 3 Corpse Cards with Unholy Lodestones, which is a lot. We have 3 Vargeists. We also have Helmengorst, and he brought his corpse cart, which, let me see what upgrades they brought. Looks like they brought them all. So they got the Unholy Lodestone. So that's 4 Unholy Lodestones in this army with Helmengorst. That's what this is, right? Yeah. Lot of Unholy Lodestones. Then we also have the Reliquary Corruption, which is the Claw of Nagash, the Mortis Engine thing, which is a unique thing for Helmengorst. Anyway, we also have a Dude Diver, Goblin Rock Lobber behind them. We have a group of Karen Race, the Konigstein Stalkers, the Sternsmen, 3 Graveguard with great weapons, 2 Spears over here, and I think that's it for them. A lot of regeneration with this army here. Then for the Orc player, we have a couple Orc Arrow Boys. I have really never brought the Orc Arrow Boys. I usually bring the Goblins. I mean, the Orc Arrow Boys do have a higher missile damage. Maybe I should try them out a little bit. They are possibly cool. I don't know. I need to try them. Then we have a front line of Savage Orcs. We have a Goblin Big Boss mounted on a Spider, 2 Giants, a Orc Shaman, a Grimgore Ironhide, 2 Orc Biggins, Black Orc, and then 2 Orc Boar Boy Biggins, which are the anti-cav, anti-armor. So here we have the very start of the battle. My Organ Guns are going to be firing into the Graveguard, which is this giant clump back there. The enemy Vargeists are going to be swinging around the left flank, so I'm going to move our 2 Quarrelers that we have to face them, to try and get some damage on them. Surreal's army is going to be marching out to meet the Orc player over here. And I've switched it to the Cinematic Cam, which is kind of annoying to go over the armies in Cinematic Cam because it moves so slow, but the battle starts, it's totally okay. Kind of odd to see them facing this way, but yet their shots are going to the right. Over here, you're going to see our Quarrelers getting some shots in on these Vargeists. Quarrelers, Crossbowmen, heck, even Handgunners, sure, can do a lot of damage when they focus on Vargeists. I warned Surreal that they're going to be heading towards our Grudge Throwers, or at least that's what I thought because of their path they're taking. So he's going to be moving these 2 Fellbats, which I think I failed to mention before. He's going to be moving them to intercept the Vargeists. I'm also going to be moving, there they go, our Trollhammer Torpedoes into position to try and get some shots in on these Vargeists. I probably should have also moved the Iron Drakes, but I wanted them to face these zombie hordes that are marching towards us. So over here, Surreal's Fellbats are going to actually intercept the Vargeists within range of all of my arrow or crossbows and Iron Drakes. So the Iron Drake, oh god, whoa. The Iron Drakes kind of serve as like flak for these Vargheists, and it's just going to be firing the rounds into this mass melee of Vargheists, along with our Corlers. So I'm going to let you know right now, these Vargheists are not going to make it, because the Felbats were able to hold them off long enough for our Corlers and Iron Drakes to deal with them. Meanwhile, over here, our Dwarf Warriors are going to be holding the line against the wave of zombies. While, I don't know what I did here, but I formed like a column instead. While our 2 Iron Drakes are just going to be pouring in flaming fiery death into these zombies and into the Karen race over here. We have a Thane who tried to intercept the charge on the left. I tried to do the same thing on the right. The Thanes are pretty good at intercepting charges to keep that charge away from your main line. Frame rate dropping a little bit there. So much fire. But by forming a column here, it actually kind of works because then these Iron Drakes have a better chance of firing at these units. Although right now they're firing at those over there. And these ones are firing at... Well, this potentially opened up a really good firing arc for both of these Iron Drakes that I did not use or utilize. Here goes our Runesmith in the middle to support this group over here. The High King will be thrown into battle shortly, but not right now. This Corpse Cart went all the way over here to fight by itself, which is not a good idea. These Dwarf Warriors are going to be able to do pretty good against it. You can see the Vargheists are now dead, so I'm going to be moving up my Iron Drakes. Where are they? There they are, right over here. They're going to be firing into this group of units over here, where Helman Gorst is. Yeah, Helman Gorst is over here. Also 2 other Corpse Carts. Meanwhile, these Iron Drakes just pouring in continued fire against these zombies, getting a ton of kills. There goes the High King. I should have sent him into battle immediately against the Karen race because he has magic damage which overrules or gets through their physical resistance. But I sent him against these zombies instead. Not the best use of them. That's fine. Now you can see these zombies are burning. Nothing is really threatening our Iron Drakes, so they're free to just continue firing. You can see the Trollhammer torpedoes getting into these Corpse Carts over here and trying to get into Helman Gorst. There's our Thane on the right, holding the flank. So on the approach, the reason why you don't see too many Graveguard here is because we destroyed a ton of them. You see this long line? Those are all Graveguard that we kill with our Organ Guns. Also, some of them, I believe, go to fight Surreal, while only a couple fight me. I believe these are the Sternsmen, actually. Yeah, these are the Sterns regenerating Graveguard over here. Now, also, something I want to point out, what's going on here is kind of silly. You have 3 Corpse Carts that all have the Unholy Lodestone. The thing is, the Unholy Lodestone, as far as I know, the ability doesn't stack. Like, you can't stack 3 Unholy Lodestones on top of each other, I don't think. Unless that was changed and I didn't know. So what you really should be doing is spreading these different Corpse Carts among your army. Like, there should be one over here supporting what was going on over here. But having 3 is kind of wasting the Unholy Lodestone's potential. Again, as far as I know, they don't stack. Let me know if I'm wrong about that, because I need to know if I'm wrong about that. It's kind of a big deal, if I am. Because if by all means, yeah, sure, stack 3 Corpse Carts on each other. Over here, I'm throwing the High King finally into this group of Karen race. Again, he has a very high magical attack, which is going to do really well against these very low defense-oriented Karen race. Also, the flamethrowers just continually firing into them. So there they go. They are now dead. They have crumbled. Zombies still putting up a fight, but they have no chance. And Helman Gorst, I think, is dead at this point. Yeah, I think we got him. Another problem is that these 2 Orc Boar Boys were sent over here, but they were never utilized again. Hey, you know what happens? You send units away, then you get focused on something else, and you forget about them. I think I've done something similar to this a couple times. It happens. But these Corpse Carts and Helman Gorst were just getting destroyed by those Trollhammer torpedoes. And also the Coroller fire, which is still coming in. We have been getting shot up the entire time by the Goblin Rock Lobber, but I haven't really been too concerned with it. Also, I didn't really have anything to destroy it, so I just kind of had to take it. Jeez. Look at this. Just got both of our Iron Drakes set up as in a flanky position. And that's going to be the end of the vampire count, so let's end it here and watch the rest of the battle with Surreal's forces. Oh, those poor Var guys back there. So here we have it. The Savage Orc line is about to meet the vampire hordes here. Well, undead hordes. And the zombies. Look at them just shambling. They just want brains. Not a very impressive charge with this unit because they kind of got flanked by these Stearnsmen and the zombies. There's all Surreal's Graveguard and Vlad von Karstein. Chopping heads off. Some of the vampire forces on the enemy are going to be wrapping around Surreal's left flank here. We do have the Claw and Nagash nearby. You can always hear it when it's nearby. It is actually kind of annoying. But it's going to charge right through these Savage Orcs, and I believe he starts dealing with the Black Orcs that are coming in and the Orc Air Boys. This is an enemy Spearman group here on the left side. The Black Coach, let's take a look at that. The Giants are both engaging against Surreal's left flank here, along with those Savage Orcs. And the Black Coach, I kind of want to follow it because he does actually use it a lot. Although it's kind of hard to follow it in the cinematic camera. Where the hell is that thing? There it goes, jeez. Just barreling through in here. You never see this unit. I was so shocked when he brought it. And then there's the Claw and the Gash. It's currently being chased by Orc units. I remember him laughing during this fight because he kept charging in and then charging out and people kept following him. And he was just like, yeah, they can't catch this thing. And so that was kind of funny. This is an enemy group of Graveguard that are trying to get behind Surreal's lines. I believe they are dealt with, yeah, by his Graveguard who are chasing them right now. Then back here you can see the Claw and the Gash dealing with some Black Orcs. And then just running away but keeping them in the AoE of its damage over time ability, which is a really good use of it. Black Coach is also going around. Ooh, I didn't even realize to drop the Foot of Gork in this game. Foot of Gork on the Cryptors are probably really good since they have a very high mass. I say probably. I haven't really used it that much against them. The pinpricks of 1,000 tiny needles against this giant. Skeleton Spearmen doing what they can. Stearnsman just giving these Savage Orcs a real beating. The Stearnsman is a very solid unit, I think. It's very expensive, but I think it's definitely worth it. Meanwhile, the Claw and the Gash is still running around. The Black Coach is also, you can see, running around. So he did a really good job at babysitting these two kind of chariot-type weapons. This is going into the enemy Spearmen. There's the enemy Orc Shaman right there. And you can see the Claw and the Gash, the Mortis Engine, kind of has a disruption attack with these Wraith Cav. pretty cool. Let's give you an overview of what's going on in the battle currently. There's all my stuff. You can see I have a lot of hit points left. And for the enemy, a lot of things have been routed. The Black Horse have taken a lot of damage, and most of that is from the Claw of Nagash. And I believe at this point, I also assigned my Grudge Throwers to attack them because they are armor piercing, right? Yeah, the Grudge Throwers are armor piercing, so I believe I assigned them to attack the Black Orcs, so they've been taking a lot of damage there. And with the Var guys dead early on, there was really nothing to threaten my catapults. Besides these Orc board biggins, which were kind of forgotten about again. But yeah, that's what's going on in the battle here in terms of hit points. The Giant's still holding on strong. Oh, we also got the Goblin Big Boss over here. Let's take a look at him. He's on his Spider Mount, which gives him poison attacks. And also a really good charge bonus. But he's kind of in the middle of some nasty units here. The Stern's Guard have very high armor. So this is not a great fight. Again, the Goblin Big Boss is really good against enemy mages. It's a cheap way to get rid of enemy mages, I feel. There's our White King, too. It looks pretty cool. Still wrapping up the enemy spearmen, who are now crumbling. And then we still have the Black Orcs here. These are the Surreal's Graveguard. And, of course, Vlad. Ooh! I think that was the Grudge Thrower that just nailed this orc in the back. More shots going down. And you see the orcs are in a rout. That's them getting inside the aura of the chilling aura of the Claw of Nagash. That's what a little visual effect is. Grimgore has been just messed up. Honestly, I don't even really know what was killing Grimgore. It may have been Vlad. I'm not sure. But something messed him up really good, which is not something you see often. He probably just got buried in between, like, Graveguard and Vlad for a while by himself. But anyway, good games to my opponents and to Surreal. Take a look at the kills here. The Dwarven heroes are all really solid. The Master Engineer is probably the weakest, only unless you, like... But if you bring him with a bunch of artillery, then, of course, he's amazing. You can also bring him with a bunch of miners to give them that buff to their blasting charges with his range buff that gives bonus to, what is it, armor piercing? Anyway, he still is kind of the weakest, but the Thanes, the Runesmith is one of the best heroes in the game. I think Thorgrim is still also really good. You don't see him that much because people really love Ungrim Iron Fist, but man, Thorgrim's buffs, I think, are just so good. Look at the kills these Dwarf Warriors got. Now, they are against a lot of zombies. So a lot of these kills are against zombies. Some of them are against Graveguard. But still, it's pretty nice. The Dwarf Warriors are great weapons. They were in my reserves, so I didn't really get to utilize them that much because I didn't need them through most of it. But I did send them in the combat at the end there. Longbeards were dealing with... I think they were fighting... They may have been the ones fighting the corpse cards. And something else, I can't remember. Corliss did really well. This Iron Drake, 149 kills. Again, a little inflation because of zombies. 65 kills in the Iron Drakes. Grudge Throwers did really good. Did a lot of damage to Black Orcs. And then the Organ Gun did a lot of damage to Graveguard. And I can't remember what I assigned him to attack there at the end. Maybe the Black Orcs as well. I can't remember. And then for Surreal, Vlad got 50 kills. Vampire got 53 kills. The Vampire, I don't use her enough. But she is a really solid combatant that also buffs leadership and, of course, has access to the lore of Death spell. Or is that Death? Or is that Vampire? I always get those two mixed. I think it's Death. You know, the purple stuff. Anyway, the zombies did okay. Spearmen did okay. Graveguard did mostly really well. Sternsmen did really well. Look at the amount of hit points they still have after combating so many units, which is great. Phobats, amazing. Almost MVPs because they held 3 groups of Varguys still so that my units can snipe them all and deny the enemy so much worth of gold in their units. That was such a good move. Cryptors did really well. Blackcoats, 79 kills. Not bad. And 48 for the Claw on Nagash. For our enemy here, their zombie line did okay. Skeletal Warriors did okay. The Konigstein fell pretty quickly. So did the Cairn Wraiths. The Graveguard also got shut down. Varguys got shut down. They managed to kill a bunch of Fellbats, which, you know, I guess that's okay. For the Orc player, Savage Orcs across the board actually did really well. Holy crap. Oh, but again, inflated kills because they're killing a lot of zombies. Orc Biggins did okay. The Black Orcs just got crushed by the Claw and Nagash, Grudge Throwers. And then by the time they actually entered combat, they were already in a weakened state, so then they routed. The Orc Era Boys, 45 kills is not bad. I'm assuming a lot of that's against zombies. These poor orcs didn't get to do anything. The Goblin Rock Lobber, 133 kills. That's mostly against dwarves, so that's really good. Really good job on the Goblin Rock Lobber, and then really good job on this 200 kill giant, and then 67 on this one is still, I think, pretty good. So again, good game to my opponents and to Surreal. I hope you enjoyed that one, everybody. I will see you all next time. Take care.